I started out when I was younger hopping on my bike and trying to find the biggest hill I could climb. It had to be something that I wasn't really sure that I could do, but I thought I could. So it was scary enough and exciting enough that would challenge me. And of course, through that process, I gained confidence into the next challenge. And then I became passionate about trying new things and mastering new things because I love the way that it makes me feel in the way of learning, in the way of growing, and in the way of meeting people. So over the years, I've done tennis, golf. I still continue to do those things. I'm in my yoga studio. I love teaching yoga. I've met so many great people. My community is at the heart of what I do. I've tried things like Latin dancing and cooking in Spanish.
That is Julie Labrum, and she's someone who tries something new every year on her birthday. And that is how she's found some of those favorite hobbies of hers. And you know, it seems like we have all sorts of hobbies when we're kids, but then they fall by the wayside as we get older. But my next guest says hobbies are even more important as we get older. Deseret News Trending editor Natalie Issa is here. And you say first, we kind of have to take stock of what is a task and what is a hobby.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's super easy as adults when we have so many things to do. It's super easy for us to assume that we can monetize our hobbies, that work is our hobby, even cleaning our home is a hobby. That's definitely not the case unless cleaning your home brings you a lot of joy and a lot of leisure in your life. But a hobby is technically an activity that you do after work, that you do for pleasure, that brings you leisure, and that you find fulfilling.
And I think a lot of people may say, oh, I don't have anything like that. You say it's normal not to have a hobby. It's not only for people who lead lives of leisure.
Oh, completely. You can always find time for a hobby. Your hobby is truly anything that you find fulfilling and that lets you relax, but also it should intellectually stimulate you just a little bit.
And there are some studies out there saying you're never too old, right?
Yes, exactly. So it's a huge misconception that adults are too old to learn a hobby, but the fact is that adults underestimate their memories, which is very normal. So this can cause a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's what researchers call memory avoidance. So basically what happens is as an adult, you assume your memory isn't up to par, it's not what it should be, you use it less, and this leads to memory decline. But studies have actually found that older adults have the same capacity to learn new things as younger adults.
And it's also healthy for our brain.
Oh, totally. So studies again have found that when you take on a new hobby that specifically requires learning a new skill, it increases your brain activity, it leads to more effective and active brain activity, similar to what we'd see in younger counterparts.
Okay, so you have 5 quick tips for us to find our hobby.
Yes.
Let's look at those. So your first one is just to choose one that you actually enjoy.
Yeah, this is super obvious. You want to take stock of your interests. Do you like singing? Do you like music? Do you like pottery? Those can really show you what type of hobbies you'd be interested in.
And then reflect back on what we liked as a kid?
Yeah, this is fun. You kind of have to get in touch with your inner child, which we all need to do. This is when you look back on what you like to do in elementary school, middle school, high school. If you like playing the sandbox, maybe you like to do sand sculptures. There are a lot of options.
And then we take classes, explore, and finally be open.
Exactly. Take classes, see what's out there, learn new things, be open. If you find yourself leaning towards a hobby that's a little more childlike, like playing with Legos, that's totally fine. Just don't judge yourself.
And what I said before is actually your next tips, which are how we stay committed to our hobby, finding one we enjoy.
That's a huge part of it. You might want to choose like a noble hobby like learning Russian or reading like super complicated literature that can easily feel like your hobby's a chore. You want to do something you'll actually enjoy so you can stick with it.
Be realistic and also enlist your friends.
Yes, be realistic. Make sure you don't plan on doing your hobby every single day for an hour. Enlisting your friends can help you find people that really hold you accountable to sticking with your hobby.
And finally, just scheduling some time to do it and being patient with yourself.
Absolutely. If you find that there's a day, an afternoon where you're most stressed, you can do your hobby then so you can relax. And being patient with yourself is so important because you might need to learn that new skill to do your hobby. And it's okay that it might take you longer as an adult to learn things. You just have to stick with it.
All right. I love those tips. I'm going to take them to heart. Thank you so much, Natalie.
Thank you.
All right. And if you want to read more from Natalie on everything from the latest streaming sensation to whether or not to wash your face in the morning, you can find her at Deseret.com.